These are breaking inputs coming in while we continue to hear of an increase in quarantine centers. It is the condition, the quality of food and hygiene at these centers. These are images of one such quarantine center in Dwarka in Delhi. Complaining of shortage of food, water and doctors. Complaints coming in from people who are there. Times Network has accessed these videos. Patients here say that they were given half a sandwich for breakfast and biscuits for lunch. What is worse here being patients have complained doctors in the center are using one single thermostat for every patient there.
हमें पिछले 12 घंटे में सिर्फ एक आधा सैंडविच दिया गया है और फिर हमें आधा घंटा पहले बोला गया था कि लंच आ रहा है और ये हमारा लंच आप देख सकते हैं रस्क के पैकेट आधा घंटा वेट कराने के बाद और उससे पहले हमें सिर्फ पूरे दिन में सिर्फ आधा सैंडविच मिला है पानी भी 4 घंटे के बाद मिला है
और सबको एक ही से टेम्परेचर लिया जा रहा है
अपने बोली थी टिश्यू पेपर चाहिए सैनिटाइजर चाहिए क्लीन करूंगी
डिसइंफेक्टेंट नहीं है
हो सकता है नीचे आ भी गया
और डिसइंफेक्टेंट भी नहीं है
नीचे जाऊंगी तब दूसरा स्टाफ जैसे आएगा ना वो लेके आएगा
और सैनिटाइजर
भी लेके आएगा
अभी तो कुछ नहीं था मैम लेकिन एक थर्मोस्टेट
मैंने आप लोगों से हेल्प लेके मैं ठीक हुई
हाँ आप लोग ले रहे हो लेकिन फिर भी आपको ध्यान है
This is a shocking lapse, shocking lack of preparedness. Patients there have also complained of the washrooms, the bathrooms there. One room which is congested with 7 to 8 people, 7 to 10 people. And that patients say there is shortage of doctors. Only 4 to 5 doctors in this present quarantine center.
And we were to be quarantined in a facility in Dwarka, which is basically the police training center or something. They told us that it is going to be a clean facility and each one will be getting a single room. And immediately once we reach the facility, they will be doing our swab tests and all. It's right now 12:10 and our flight landed at 1:30 at night. Till now, there has been no test done. The facility is in pathetic situation. The bathrooms are clogged. There's no hand sanitizers at the place. Pathetic situation to live by. Stains on the bed. And they are putting approximately 7 to 10 people in one single room where everyone should be separate if they suspect us of having a coronavirus. We have not been given anything to eat apart from a single sandwich and a bottle of water. There is nothing else.
Here the security is around 200 policemen, you can say. There are armed forces, you can see doctors. There are only 2 to 3 doctors in the starting. Now after putting pressure, there are like 4 or 5 more doctors.
But none of them are treating us.
Yeah, none of them are treating us. There are people in doctors' uniform. We ask them questions. They are saying we are not doctors and we don't know what to be done. In the morning at 6, when we were kept in the bus for 4 hours outside the airport, closed the doors of the bus. We were not allowed to go outside the bus. It was suffocating. Nobody was answering where we would have been to be taken. Nobody knew what would be done with us, and still they don't have any idea about what should be done with this amount of people. There are people who are not ready to come inside the facility. They are seeing this such poor condition of the facility.
Let's get in more details. Our correspondent Vajji getting us those inputs here. Vajji, this is absolutely shocking. One would think you're undoubtedly, certainly better off being safer at home if this is the condition of a quarantine center in the national capital.
This is shocking, this is concerning, and especially at the capital. This is the Dwarka police center where these visuals that we've got you from, and these are people who are actually inside these quarantine centers who have returned from Rome, Italy and other places, who have come here and who are Indians who have been put at these places because they've been asked to stay there for the next 14 days. It's an isolation ward, and if the condition of these isolation wards are exactly the way these people have explained it to us, then it's really concerning because because the state government and the center government has continuously released advisories telling that we have to keep our atmosphere clean, our environment clean, ourselves clean, and if that is the condition, if we have to survive corona, then these lapses that we see at the centers, at the isolation ward, is something that has to be looked into first, because these are the places where people where there is a suspect of positive cases are kept there, and if the places where they are kept is not kept safely, then it's really concerning. And as the problems that we've heard from them, we've also seen a visual where people who have just returned from outside, from outside the country, have been brought to these centers, and they are also reluctant to enter these quarantine centers, because they also fear that they would be better off at their places than they would be here, because they have also got a sense that these centers where they've been taken into are not hygienic anymore.
And Vaji, this is a very clear sign of lack of preparedness of the government, irrespective of which government we're talking about here. Because when you have figures being thrown at us that the number of centers have increased, the number of testing facilities increased, but if there's a reality check such as this that is done, it's absolutely shocking to say that these are Indians who've been rescued, have been evacuated and brought in from the worst affected countries. And this is what they're facing back home here in India.
Well, exactly. It would be really horrific if something bad happens after they've been rescued from the places from where they were. So exactly up the point where these quarantine centers, these isolation centers where these people have kept, there should be the utmost priority of the government, because it's from these centers that we'll get a confirmation whether these people who have come out, whether they have positive signs of corona or negative signs of corona. So it is highly important that the government now rectifies these issues and make sure that this does not occur anymore or any other places. We've also heard a few isolated cases from different centers, but there is no confirmation on that. But this is one center where we've got visuals from the people who have just returned from Italy. They've also written a letter as of now from what we've heard. And the videos that they have sent to us from their centers is self-explanatory. They speak for themselves. They've also sent us visuals of the toilets that have been clogged, the almirahs where vegetable waste has been kept. So these are something that is really alarming and concerning, because it adds on to the fear of the coronavirus outbreak.
Vaji, final question here to you. This is also a complaint with respect to doctors there present at the quarantine centers. Are these not trained medical professions? Who are these people? If the patients suspect that they don't know the basics, they're not even doctors.
Well, these are the claims of the people who've been put at these quarantine centers, but we still we're waiting for a confirmation from the government who've set up these centers whether these claims by the people are true or not. But as far as we've got as far as the claims that have come out, they also say that there are no thermometers over there for them, and it's just one thermometer that has been checked. But these are pointers that we've asked to the government, and we're just waiting a response from them whether there is any fact to what the people are telling over there.
Vaji, many thanks for getting us those inputs there. We'll, of course, continue to be doing more such reality checks, ground checks of the quarantine centers here in each of the respective states on how they're being run.